It's 5 a.m. right now, and I just had to make this video, bro. Overthinking almost made me check out early. There have been a lot of different times in my life where being in my own head led me to believe that I was, unwanted, unworthy, somehow less than, bro. And some of that had to do with external influences. Like, if y'all been following me for a minute, y'all already know that, I've been through certain things with, having to deal with others around me that weren't good for me. You know what I mean? And the people around me was telling me that I was unwanted, undesired, unattractive, whatever. You know what I mean? I done experienced racism. You know what I mean? I done experienced a whole lot of stuff, bro. I've even experienced my own family telling me that I'm a failure. You feel me? But I think that most of the damage was done by my own self, bro. And I think that that's most people. Most people, they get in their own head. You probably have this thing where you have arguments with people in your own head, bro. You probably do this thing where you imagine these scenarios where you're always on the defensive. You're always, wronged by somebody, or somebody says something and you beat them up or something like that happens, right? And you live out these fantasies, and at first you don't really think anything of it, but when you really look deep down, it's because you're an overthinker. It's because you're thinking of scenarios that may happen because you want to prepare yourself subconsciously for these things to happen. You're ready to be disrespected. You're ready for somebody to say something because you've thought yourself into a corner. You've thought these things about yourself. So really, when you're fake arguing with somebody and you're fake fighting with somebody because of something they said, they never said that. You told yourself that. You said that about yourself. And that's the only reason why you think of those scenarios. And that's the only reason why, you're being held back in life. That's the only reason why you feel like you can't get shit done, bro. That's the only reason why you feel like you're a failure. That's the only reason why you feel like you can't go and chase your dreams, bro. You know why people give up on their dreams? You know why people are never successful in life? It has nothing to do with the results that they get. It has nothing to do with anything other than your own mind. See, your mind can be a great tool, but it could also be your biggest enemy, bro. You feel me? And, for me, it was a huge enemy. Like, there were times when, like I said, I told myself the worst things about myself, man. And it's hard because once you start thinking negatively about yourself, you start to spiral. And people say, think positive, but you don't really see a way how. But this is what you have to understand about how life works. Life works on momentum. Life works based off of how you, like it's all, like, bro, understand this. Your reality is based off of your own perspective, bro. Genuinely, dog. Reality is shaped by your own perspective. And the reason I'm able to say that so confidently, right? Because people always say, oh, no, there's an objective reality. Listen, bro, let me tell you something right now. Your mind is so powerful. You are so powerful that literally the way that you see something, your perspective will shift reality. And we know this to be true. We know this to be true because self-belief is a form of delusion, right? And that delusion is what wills people to being successful. You think that Kanye West or, Drake or any huge music artist wasn't at least a little bit delusional, wasn't at least a little bit like, nah, I believe I can do this before they got famous? You think, anybody with any sort of money or notoriety or fame or whatever didn't think that they could do it? You think they was thinking negative thoughts? No, my nigga, they was thinking, no, I could do this when nobody else believed in them. And that's the thing about it, bro. We're going through we're going through a time, Gen Z people, we're going through a time where we are more alone than ever. We're more connected than ever, but also more alone. I'm talking to you through a screen, but we don't have a real intimate connection. And that's something that a lot of people crave. Now, why is this important? This is important because when you don't have that connection and you feel alone, a lot of the times you just think, damn, nobody believe in me. And you start to overthink and fill in all these holes. You start to fill in what you think people will think about you. But the only person thinking that shit is you. The only person that don't believe is you. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't need nobody to believe in you, bro. I'm going to be honest. You only need to believe in yourself. And I didn't even realize that shit until recently. I was literally up thinking until it's 5 a.m., bro. It's 5 a.m. It's 5 a.m., bro. Understand that overthinking is what leads people to leaving Earth early, bro. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm dead serious. They be in their head. Don't do that. I'm dead serious. Don't do that. Because it's like this, bro. When you in your head too much, you start to get blinded to the fact that life is passing you by. Do you understand that people live in their head? People don't live life. People think about living life for years and years and years until they're on their deathbed and then look back and be like, fuck, I didn't enjoy a single moment. That's why it's so important to live in the present moment, because that overthinking shit, living in your mind, living in your head, will literally cost you years of your life. There is nothing that exists besides you are watching this video right now. The only thing that exists is me and you right now. Nothing else, bro. Nothing else in the future, nothing in the past. The only thing that's holding on to what happened at a different time, whether it's in the past or whether you're worrying about something in the future, is your mind. And understand that no amount of thinking, no amount of worrying about something, no amount of thinking about something will ever change it. And this tends to happen with a lot of people that are introverted or a lot of people that just are thinkers, you know. And what you got to understand is that life is about balance. When you're overthinking, right, when you're in your head too much, you have to learn how to be more in your body, right? When you're overthinking, you have to get up, move around physically. You cannot beat a mind problem with the mind, bro. I'm dead serious. You can't stop overthinking by doing more thinking. You feel me? And that's what a lot of people try to do, and that's why you haven't been able to beat it. You're trying to stop overthinking by telling yourself to stop over. You're thinking, I'm going to stop overthinking by thinking to stop overthinking. So now you're doing more thinking, thus overthinking. You have to get up and you have to move around. You have to get into what's called a flow state. Athletes do it all the time. It's a mode that you get into where you ain't thinking about shit. You feel me? You have to learn how to get the energy away from your mind and into your body. Go work out, go for a walk, something, move around, bro. Go touch grass, literally. Literally, I know it's a joke, but literally go touch grass, bro. It's going to help you. I'm telling you right now. All that thinking shit is not going to help. You feel me? And the reason I'm telling you this is because, just like the title says, bro, there have been times when I've been like, damn, bro, like, is this shit even worth it, my nigga? Is it even worth, like, living? Like, is this shit even worth it? Why am I even here? What is my purpose? Asking all these motherfucking questions. And the conclusion that I've come to is that life isn't like... See, life is kind of like a video game, bro. But not an open world video game. Not a video game where it's like, oh, you can do whatever. Like, life is just a single player video game. And it's a story-based single player video game. Like The Last of Us or like God of War or some shit like that. And the reason why I say that is because life is exactly like this. When you play a single player video game, yeah, sure, you can level up. You can do all this shit and it might make things easier. It might not. But at the end of the day, there's only one true destination. And you're on a one track, you're on a one lane, one track to the end of the game. No amount of leveling up, no amount of doing side missions, side quests is going to stop you from progressing to the end of the game. And at that point, there's nothing left to do. That's exactly how life is like, bro. Right? So what does that mean? It means that life is not necessarily about doing all the side quests and side missions. Shit's optional. You can do it if you want to. You can try and level up if you want to, whatever. But what is the core basis of a story-based video game? The story. It's because life is not something to find a purpose for. Oh, I have to find my God-given purpose, my almighty purpose. Life is just an experience, bro. And when you realize that all that overthinking shit, thinking about girls, thinking about money, thinking about your parents is yelling at you because you ain't got a job, all that goes away, bro. because none of it matters.